Hi, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing the Netflix book tag. So I'm not quite sure where this came from, but I'll have a hunt around YouTube just to see who did the original tag, and I'll link it down below. But anyway, let's get started because there are quite a few books for me to go through. So all these are based on certain things on Netflix. The first one being recently watched, and that's the last book you finished. And for me, that is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I finished this last week and I'm currently reading Underground Railroad. So yeah, it's a very good book, gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I'm not sure how something's going to beat this book, to be honest. The next one is Top Picks, and that's a book that has been recommended to you based on what you have previously read. Now the book I'm going to go with is Caraval by Stephanie Garber, and this was recommended to me because I am a huge fan of the Night Circus. So this is quite similar, but then in some degrees it's very different as well. But if you do like the Night Circus, I do think you will love Caraval. It's got the same type of imagery and it's just a beautiful book, and there's lots of twists and turns as well. The next one is recently added, and that's The Last Book You Brought. And for me, that is A Murder in Time by Julie McLewin. Now, I haven't read this yet. This is going to be in my May TBR. But this basically follows an FBI agent who gets sent back in time where a child is murdered, and she tries to solve that murder. So I think she gets sent back to 1815, so she's back in an era where women are still being tried for witchcraft, I think. I'm trying to think back to my dissertation, but I think it is. So she's going to have to cope with stuff like that, and being a woman who's used to a place where women are respected and have good jobs, whereas back in this time it would be men who'd be trying to work out the murder, and so on and so forth. But I can't wait to give this a go and just look at the cover. It's the cover that automatically drew me into it, but yeah, it's so pretty and I can't wait to give this a go. The next one is popular on Netflix. So that's books that everyone knows about, and the tag wants you to pick 2 that you have read and 2 that you're not interested in. So the 2 that I have read, I'm going to go for A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas, just because everyone knows about this series. If you don't know about it, then where have you been? Especially with A Court of Wings and Ruin coming out in May, I cannot wait to give that a read. But also, I personally think this is a very, very good series. It gets you hooked and it's just amazing. And also The Court of Thorns and Roses, this one is based on Beauty and the Beast, so that's what automatically drew me into it. Another book I'll mention is This Savage Song by V.E. Schwab. Now everyone knows about this book because it's a YA novel where the female and male characters are just friends. So that's what got everyone talking about it at first, because usually people are used to having a male and female get together and one's got a crush on the other, so on and so forth. But yeah, it's so refreshing to have a book where the male and female characters are just friends, and I love it. And also Our Dark Duet will be coming out at the end of the year. I think it's September, or it might even be June, I'm not too sure. But yeah, I can't wait to give that a go because this is just a duology. But the 2 books that I have no interest in, the first one is the Percy Jackson series, just because at the moment I don't want to start a series that I know has so many books and it's got its own spin-off series as well. I don't want to get into that. I just want to start series afresh and just read like that, so I don't think I'll be reading the Percy Jackson series. Another one is the Divergent series, everyone knows about that. I just don't want to read another Hunger Games. I've kind of gone off dystopian novels. I read the Hunger Games and the Maze Runner, and I think that's it for me. I'm not really into those anymore. So the next one is comedies, and that's a funny book. See, I don't read many comedies, I'm more into my fantasy. So for this one it was quite hard, but the last book that I read that had me laughing was The Princess Diaries by Carrie Fisher. And this just made me laugh because Carrie Fisher is just naturally a funny woman. So the way she writes stuff, she writes it as though she's there saying it to you. So bits of it just made me giggle, to be honest. Next one is animated, and that's a book with a cartoon on the cover. For this, I didn't know what really classed as a cartoon, so I just went with any kind of illustration. So I went for my favourite book with an illustration on the cover, and that is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. Now this was illustrated by Chris Riddle, and I just loved the kind of imperfect, bit messy illustration on the cover, and I also love the blue palette that's on the cover as well. I just love it so much. I haven't yet read this book, but there's illustrations throughout, So Neverwhere is already one of my favourite books, so with illustrations it's just going to make it better. Next one is Watch It Again, and that's a book or series that you want to reread. Now this was really hard because there's so many series and so many books that I want to reread and I just literally do not have the time. But for this one I picked The Night Circus by Erin Morganson, just because after reading Caraval I do want to give this a go, and just it's such a beautiful book. I just want to reread it again, to be honest, because it was a while since I last read it. It has to be a few years ago, to be honest, because I'm not really a rereader of books. I have so many books that I need to read. I never have the chance to reread a book, so maybe I need to pop one book aside and just give it a reread every month. But yeah, I do want to reread The Night Circus along with many other books. The next one is Documentaries, and that's a non-fiction book you would recommend to everyone. So for this one was quite hard because I don't really read much non-fiction. So I've basically gone with the book that I enjoyed the most, and that is The Victoria Letters by Helen Rappaport. So this is based on the Victoria series that was on ITV last year, and I think the second series will be on this year. It's basically what the TV show was based off, and those are letters by Victoria. And what I love about this book is that it's got some letters you can't really see, like down here, and it's just got some factual bits and pictures from the TV show as well. So if you are a fan of the TV show and you do want to learn a bit more about Victoria, then give this book a go. It is really, really good, and it's a fast read as well. And the next one is Action and Adventure, and that's an action-packed book. For this I am going to go with Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. Now I was hooked from the start with this book. I haven't said Six of Crows because I did think it was a bit slow to begin with, but Crooked Kingdom picks right up off where Six of Crows left off, and you were hooked until the end. You've got all the amazing characters, you've got plot twists, and it was just amazing. I loved this book so much. So yeah, that's it for this video. I'm not going to tag anyone. If you're interested in doing it, have a go, because I know a lot of people have already done this tagging. I'm a bit late to it. But what would you choose for these questions? Just comment down below, and as usual you can like this video or subscribe to this channel, and there's also my Tumblr, Twitter, Goodreads, Instagram and Snapchat to follow. So I will see you later with a new video. Bye!